If you are following the case of the 4 Idaho students who were killed in their rental home in the early parts of November 13th, then I'm sure you are familiar with the food truck video too. The food truck video surfaced very early on, and many were focused on the guy in the hoodie, who had some interaction with the girls. Some called him the ditch guy, because at one point, we see the girls leaving and he is pointing in their direction. There's another guy in this video, he is now known as Joe V. Many have reached out to him, because he was seen talking to the guy in the hoodie. He took to TikTok to share his thoughts on this situation.
Hey, Joe here. I just wanted to jump on this and make a video real quick and kind of just squash some stuff that I've been seeing. So, first and foremost, I feel super awkward that I even have to make this video, but I've been not really keeping track of all of the stuff that's going on with this investigation for those girls that were killed. And to start off, the very next day when they had announced the murders and when they had shown the photos, as soon as I saw the photos, I messaged the 2 people that were in that video that I was talking to, my neighbor and then another guy that we had met earlier that night who I thought was really cool. And we invited him to come with us to Grub Bus. And I was like, hey, weren't 2 of these girls at the Grub Bus with us last night? And they couldn't remember, but they were also very drunk and I was not. So there's a drink called a Larry Craig. That's a really popular drink over here. I did have one of those at Corner Club, but other than that, I was totally sober. When they confirmed that those were the girls, the only reason I knew that it was those girls was because I saw the video that said, oh, they were seen at this thing. Because I actually called the police right away and was like, hey, I think I might have information. I just need to know what was one of the girls wearing, because I remember one of them had pink, because the one that bumped into me at Corner Club was wearing pink. But nobody called me back from the police, and I was like, okay, they're probably just swamped with information, probably whatever. But then when the video came out and people were like, no, those were the girls, and those 2 people were like, dude, those were the girls, I was like, okay, I'm going to physically go to the police station and talk to the police. I told the police everything I saw, which is different than what I think is going out there right now. And I was just waiting for food. I'm just like everybody else in town that waits for food at the Grub Bus. It does take a while. Everybody goes there. And so that was kind of the thing. It was like, no, if you're ending the night, you end it at Grub Bus. But other than that, I don't really have any crazy information. I don't know why everybody's reaching out to me. I don't know why so many people are trying to spin things around. And so what I've decided to do is that I'm only commenting on things that are ridiculous, so try and give clarity. But man, people are really turning this into something it's not. Sorry, I had to do this in 2 parts because there's a lot. And I'm also shivering. It's cold and I'm in my truck. Yeah. So I want to address a few things specifically. One being the news article that came out was the first person that I actually talked to with the news media. A lot of media outlets have reached out to me, and I've just ignored them because I just was like, man, I just was waiting for food. I have nothing to add. I've given all the helpful information I can to the police. It would make 0 sense for me to give any more information to random people. But these rumors that are going around were just crazy. And I didn't have a bad vibe from the guy that people were dragging through the mud. I don't know if he did it or not. I don't know. I'm just saying I could speak to the vibe I got from him, which was all people really wanted to know at first anyways. And I thought he was fine. Now the news outlet that I talked to, he really embellished some stuff I said and added his own words to things and kind of changed the verbiage. I wasn't defending anybody. That's one thing he said. I wasn't defending him. I was just saying people need to stop spreading rumors because that could ruin his life. What if he's innocent? It would ruin his life. The other thing he said is that I noticed him come in with the girls. I didn't notice him come in with the girls. I didn't notice him till I cracked the joke to the frat guys because I thought it was ridiculous that it was like freezing outside and that guy was in a tank top. So I just made a joke because that's how I make friends. I don't know. But that's when the guy chimed in and I noticed him. I didn't notice him until that moment. When I was at Corner Club, when I said ew, some people were like, "Why? That's such a weird thing to say. Why would I?" That's what you say when you're standing talking to friends and somebody really drunk, like they smell drunk, they're like bouncing around and they bump into you and like rub up against you. Like that's it's gross. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but she was really, I mean, you can even see in the Grub Bus video, she walked between us several times and just couldn't even walk straight. That girl was very drunk. She's actually the only one that I thought was really drunk. And she was the only one I noticed at Corner Club because she had bumped into me. Another thing that was weird is that the guy who was interviewing me from the Daily Mail or whatever it was, he said glass-eyed, and I was like, sure, yeah, like that. I didn't actually even use that word. That was his word. And then as far as the car goes, yeah, there's a car that pulled up. I couldn't remember what it was. I couldn't remember if it was black, blue, gray. I couldn't remember. I just remember there a car pulled up. Ooh, so cold. So I didn't know what color the car was. It was dark. And I just felt like when I told the guy, I said it was a dark car, I couldn't remember what color it was. And I think when I was at the police station, I couldn't remember what color it was. They asked me to. And but the Daily Mail guy was like, no, you need to, like, was it blue? Was it black? I was like, I can't remember if it was blue or black. I can't remember. He's like, we'll just say dark colored car. And I was like, okay. I was like, I think it was a 4-door sedan, but this guy got out and was like, hey, let's go. What's going on? Because the girls were making videos and laughing and they were trying to grab all the food. Every time food was coming out from the Grub Bus, they were just trying to grab it. And they thought it was funny. And it was a little funny, but they were trying to grab all the food that was coming out. And when I went up and I talked to the guy at the Grub Bus, I said, did you just give them food? Because he just said, here you go, like that, and gave them food. And then they ran off. I actually told the Grub Bus, I was like, that was really nice of you. He's like, yeah, they just need to, they need to get home. And I was like, yeah. They were trying to climb into the Grub Bus. So, very drunk. And then honestly, as soon as they called my number, I told the guy, I said, they're leaving, bro. And then because they called my number, all I could think about was pasta. I couldn't think about anything else other than just eating macaroni and cheese. And that was it. I didn't give any other thoughts. I didn't think anything else about it. Yeah. Some people have said that, like, I've seen some people say, like, oh, I think it's suspicious how much Joe remembers. I'm an adult. Like, as soon as I realized that those were the girls that we saw there, I tried my best to remember everything and recount it from that night because I knew that it would help in the investigation. Some people said, oh, Joe might have been the suspect. Dude, I have cameras in my house. I literally have the time I walked in my house. The girls were still alive at that point. And I have a can of soda that I had in my video, have it in my hands, walking into my house. So, yeah, it wasn't me, I promise. And other people were saying that I was excited about, like, a claim to fame or something like that. What is wrong with you? That's such a disgusting thing to think. Like, who would be excited about this? I've literally ignored everybody. Like, everybody. The only reason I even answered the Daily Mail guy at first is because he showed up to my friend's house. Like, physically showed up to my friend's house trying to find me or trying to get information about me. Crazy. And, yeah. I just wanted to help. Part of me too felt guilty because I was laughing. I kind of laughed at the girls, watching them be drunk because, let's be honest, anybody that lives here, the whole reason that the Grub Bus has a Twitch stream is because the people, I call them zombies, but just kind of like because they're just people come from all walks throughout the night. A lot of drunk people come there after they've finished their night drinking to load up on carbs, eat food. Police come there that are working late. They come get their food. They just park right behind the bus. People like me come there who just want pasta in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's all walks of life, all people. But it makes for an interesting crowd pretty late. And so they always live stream it. That's the reason they live stream it. So that camera footage that you guys are seeing, that looks like surveillance, it's not surveillance. It's a live stream for Twitch for the Grub Bus. One thing I did say that I'm glad that was reported truthfully is that, I have a little girl, and I mean, she's a baby. She's like not even 2 yet. And she's my world. And, there's a dad out there that these girls, that they're his world, and they're gone. So, and I just felt kind of guilty because instead of helping them when they were drunk, they were entertainment. While I was waiting for food, they were just the entertainment. They were just the drunk people that everybody laughs at, and it's sad. And some people think that's disrespectful. I mean, it was what was happening. They were drunk. They were out there drunk like that. And one of my toxic traits is that I take on the weight of everything that's going on around me, both personally or just even with friends and stuff. And so any of my friends that know me, they reached out to me pretty much right away because they knew that this was going to be eating me up. And it has. And I haven't been following what people have been saying until just recently. Somebody sent me a TikTok video that had the most ridiculous things on it. And I tried to set those straight. And apparently it fueled more Reddit BS and more rumors. I don't understand how people are making this into an entertainment thing. Like, I live here. My friends are scared to walk to their cars. I'm a big guy. I'm strong. I don't feel super safe going outside alone at night either. I just hope people realize that there's real people that are affected by this stuff, and sorry, I put my hood on. It's really cold. Like, there's snow outside. But at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like people need to stop trying to reach out to me to get statements. There's so many other people that know more about what's going on than I do. I just happen to be getting macaroni and cheese at the same time as them. And other than like those couple minutes there, I can't really speak to anything else. And people need to stop dragging whoever through the mud, especially if you don't live here and you don't know anybody. You don't know what's going on really. Like, this isn't funny and it's not entertaining. And I believe that Moscow Police Department is doing a really good job in trying to kind of just do damage control. But like, let's be honest, the FBI is like on it. I would be surprised if they have a really good idea of who it is. They're just waiting for evidence, evidence to just make it concrete, because one of the worst things that can happen, you guys, is if they catch the murderer and they arrest them, bring them in, and then they have weak or refutable evidence and that person walks. Think about that. So ease up. Don't be jerks to the police. They're literally like, they don't want to give information out because this is like a really tight investigation, but they know things. I don't understand why they didn't. I will say my one critique, I don't know why they didn't put out right away that a car picked up the girls and was waiting for them in front of the Grub Bus. It took them way too long to do that. And there was a lot of rumors going around saying that the girls ran away from that guy. They ran across the street. And that's really when I started to like, man, I should say something, online. But, I work in media and marketing, and I'm a musician, and I have a lot of things that I just want to like give the world. And I'm sad that this is kind of how my name got out there.